Welcome to the American Nomad Podcast, hosted by the legend himself, or as I refer to him, the legend in his own mind, Rav Holly.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Friday show. Hey, Random Nomad, Amy Preston, good to see you guys. Let me know how the volume is over here on a camera. It's funny, I was actually scrambling because I had turned the A camera on to check it earlier and left it on and ran the battery dead. So I had to scramble and find my other battery, and I found it with like 2 minutes to spare before the show was supposed to start. So awesome. Thank you, Random Nomad, for letting me know. I'm always a little bit gun shy now every time I start the show, worried about if I got the freaking sound working right. But getting a little better, I think. Starting to get this new mixer figured out. It's a little over my head, I guess. I'm not that professional when it comes to sound. All right, guys. Everybody ready for the weekend? Without further ado, let's get this show started. If you noticed, I actually went ahead and moved the camera back around. I had moved it when I was trying when I did the green screen. I moved the camera angle because the camera needs to be dead center, straight on with you when you're doing green screen. So I'd moved the camera around or repositioned it. And today I repositioned it back to where it used to be, which I like it for the podcast. I like it exactly where it is here more than I liked it where I had it for the green screen. So since we did away with the green screen, we got the camera back right here in the corner, which I think is a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? Good to see you, Amy. Thanks for showing up. Random Nomad, as always, good to see you guys. No sparkly shirt. That was another reason I moved the camera around, and I actually wore a darker shirt today. I think because of where the camera angle was, and I think because of these new RGB lights. I think any light colored shirt shows up strange because of the lighting. So we moved everything around to try to get, and I usually wear black, but I'll be really honest with you, I need to do laundry, and so I have probably about 25 black shirts, and that's how many dirty shirts I have that need to go to the laundry. So I started wearing my lighter colored shirts, which didn't work very well on the camera. Oh, you're working on your camper this weekend? Congratulations, Amy Preston. Get to hear that. That's exciting. Eve, our friend Eve that's here a lot of times, I actually know her personally. She's the nanny for my old boss in Huntington Beach. And she ended up getting her a new Transit. It's not a Transit. What's a ProMaster, I think. Maybe it is maybe Transit. Ford's a Transit, ProMaster's a Dodge, Sprinter's a Mercedes, and a Dodge. But I think she's been working on her camper as well. So you guys are getting ready to hit the road for the winter now that summer's over? Gonna chase the warm weather somewhere? If everything goes right, I've got to get myself together because I've got to get on the road. I'm either going to get on the road or I'm going to fly. And you got a Fiat, actually, Random Nomad? God, I haven't seen a Fiat in years. I'm actually going to be getting on the road to Texas. Hey, what is going on, Ambo Live? Good to see you guys. Haven't seen you guys in a while. Hope you're doing well on the beet harvest. So if I think you guys know Ambo Life. ProMaster is a Fiat. Oh, okay, yeah. Good call, Random Nomad. ProMaster is a Fiat. I think it's branded a Dodge. You're at the beet harvest, Ambo Life. Yeah, I've been keeping up with your social media. I think it's pretty awesome. So if you don't know Ambo Life, the cutest little couple that they live in they're good friends of mine. We met at RTR this year, the beginning of the year, and they have a very nice built out Ford 450, I believe, ambulance. It's on an ambulance chassis. I mean, it's on a Ford chassis, but it's an ambulance that they live in. Hey, there she is, Matilda, or good to see you, Matilda. And they live in an ambulance, but they go every year. They travel around the country in their ambulance and live full-time. They're full-timers. But they go up to, where are you guys at the beet harvest? But they go up and do the beet harvest every year, working 12-hour shifts, making that money. Yes, E450. Great to hear that, Ambo Life. It actually looks pretty fun to me. I know it's probably hard work and you guys are working 12-hour shifts, but is it North Dakota is where the beet harvest is? I don't think it's North Dakota where Ambo Life is. Where are you guys at, Ambo Life? Crookston, Minnesota. Ooh, it's going to get cold up there. Well, you're probably up there close to Random Nomad then. Random Nomad, you're in Minnesota as well, correct? Memory serves me. So yeah, they're doing the beet harvest. They do the beet harvest every year. It looks fun to me. I know it's hard work and you guys are out there probably in the cold weather. Yeah, Wisconsin. Okay, you're in Wisconsin. It looks fun. I know you guys are making that money. And you make good money. They go do the beet harvest. They make good money and it affords them to travel around for the rest of the year. Not too bad of weather yet there. That's good to hear. That's going to change here probably in a. When does we are working days this year? Thank God. Oh yeah, because you were working nights last year, correct? I bet nights are freezing cold. When does the beet harvest end, Devin? Ambo Life. How long do you guys do it for? Is it it's like a month, right? I might have to tag along with you guys one of these years just to go check it out. Oh, it got up to 50 today? Holy crap, that's pretty cool. Trav, man, good to see you, brother. My friend, I'll bet Crookston, Minnesota, drives for the beet factories. He's probably in one of them semi-trucks or big dump trucks delivering beets to the factory. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Matilda says, geez, it was 100 where I'm at. It was 100 up in Pomona? Yeah, it was, gosh, what was it today here? I think it was 99 yesterday here in Fullerton. I don't know what it was today. It's 98, or it was 98 today. It's 85 now. It's been an exceptionally warm year here in California. So that's got all the global, the globalist all up, because we're having a warmer year here in California. 14 to 15 working days. Oh, so you only do it for a couple of weeks? I thought it was longer than that. Okay, could take the whole month of October depending on weather conditions. Gotcha. It was like low 50s there. Yeah, it was almost 100 here today. It's usually in the summertime in California, we have a stretch of probably a week or 2 weeks that it's, 87 to 96, and then we'll get up maybe for a couple of days around 98 to maybe 100, just for usually maybe 2 to 4 days. This year we've had a good stretch of a month that's been 90 degrees plus, which is very weird for Southern California. Detox D, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you guys. You guys ready for the weekend? So let's get into our, I really only have one major. Lee Norris, what's going on? No global warming there. Yeah, that's whatever all the globalists, they're all up in arms because, the weather's a little warmer here in Southern California this year. So it's all about global warming, which I had to let one of my friends know that's from here in Southern California that was basically, he's a big, he's a typical Californian, big, everything, that's going on is because of global warming. So I had to, he was talking about the global warming is why it's so warm this year in California because the temperature is rising. And I had to let him, I had to inform him that in Dallas back in, I think it was 97, 98, In Dallas, Texas in 97, 98, when I was living there, we had 22 days in a row that it was over 100 degrees, which was insane for Dallas. It's always hot in Dallas. I mean not always hot, but in the summertime it gets hot in Dallas, and it's like this year weather here in California is like Texas weather usually, where for like a month or 2 months it's 90 degrees, 88, 89, 90, up to about 97. And then you'll have like a maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 days where it gets 100 to 100, a little bit above 100, like 102, 103. We had 22 consecutive days where it was over 100 degrees. And this was in the late 90s, and everybody in Dallas was talking about this is global warming. And they were all, on that global warming trip is the reason that it was so hot in Dallas. It's never done that again. As far as to my knowledge, it's never done that again. They've never had like a stretch of 22 days that was over 100 degrees. And that was 20 years ago. Let's see. Random Nomad says August is our hottest month, upper 80s to low mid 90s with like 70% humidity. Yeah. The craziest thing about, for me, or not for me, but the craziest thing is up there is the freaking humidity. Hey, man, we just got a super chat by Random Nomad. That's awesome. There should be an alert. If somebody sees the alert on the screen, let me know. It showed the alert work. I don't see the alert. I've never seen the alert. Thank you so much, Trav, man. I appreciate it. It does help me a lot, buddy. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I have this auto thing set up I've told you guys about, but I just, for some reason, can't make it work. Yes, I saw it. Thank you, Random Nomad. Thank you so much, Trav, man. I really appreciate it. Did I say Random Nomad? Trav, man. Thank you, Trav, man, for the $10 donation. Thank you so much for the super chat. You guys are always donating to the show, so sometimes I get you two mixed up. If I said Random Nomad, I meant Trav, man. Thank you for the $10, Trav, man. I truly appreciate it, and it does help me tremendously. It keeps me motivated to keep this thing going when YouTube is continuously, cutting me off at the knees, demonetizing my videos. The truth is every single time I do a video almost, they demonetize the video where it makes probably about a quarter of what it should make. As far as income, but every time you guys donate, just a $10 donation pays for the video, if that makes sense. I mean, I look at it like, the video will make, if they cut the video off or demonetize it, it won't make but $5 or $10, max. If they don't demonetize it, it'll make $25 or $30. But even if it makes, $5, $10, $15, and then you guys, I get a $10 donation in the super chat, to me that's $20. So it's an hour show. So for me, I consider that $20 an hour. So it's time well spent. So thank you again so much for the super chat, Trav, man. But anyway, so the big news is Trump and the First Lady, Melania Trump, have both supposedly tested positive for COVID-19. Probably get demonetized for saying COVID-19, but I mean, it is what it is. And the saddest thing about that is not necessarily that they caught it, because I actually thought they would probably catch it back when I caught it. I just had this weird feeling that they were going to get corona, or that Trump would get it back in the day. So I just felt at some point he would probably catch it because he's seeing so many different people. Oh, I'm showing buffering here again. Hopefully we're not buffering. So weird, man. I checked my, YouTube is not seeing it. It says I'm getting an error, guys. YouTube is not receiving enough video information to maintain smooth streaming. I don't know why it's doing that. I checked my internet connection before we started, and it was great. I even changed some settings to downgrade it a little bit. Anyway, I'm just going to keep going. But I just felt like that Trump, he's meeting so many people. They're seeing so many people. It was inevitable that they were going to get it at some point. But the saddest part about it, in my opinion, is to watch people that are on the left gloat about it, like it's they're so happy that it's happened. It's just and then they're the big one that I've seen out of several. I didn't even post or reply to their post, but the big one I've seen out of a bunch of my leftist friends is that's karma. They're giggling and talking amongst themselves in their own comments about Trump and Melania testing positive for COVID, and then they're all about it's karma, it's karma, it's karma. Well, guess what? You're making fun of Melania and Trump for getting COVID. You're making fun of them. So if you get it, is that karma? That's my question. And then on the flip side of that, I have 5 or 6 friends, hard leftist friends, that actually came out and were very cordial about the entire thing, going, "Oh my God, it's so sad that the president and his wife caught COVID. I feel so, even though I don't like Trump and I'm not a fan of Trump." They didn't say they don't like Trump. They said, "I'm not a fan of Trump," but they said, "My heart goes out to him and his family. I hope that they recover and everything is great." And even Biden, I got to give props to Biden because Biden was very cordial about it. So, it's one of those times where you can take the high road or you can take the low road. I can tell you point blank, if Biden gets COVID, and there's a big possibility at some point he will, I worry if he does. I've worried about Biden more than I have Trump about getting COVID. If Biden gets it, I don't know. Some just tells me with his mental capacity that he's not in great shape. But even Trump, it'll be a perfect test run if Trump's got COVID, because he's not the healthiest guy. We know he's not the healthiest guy. You can look at him and tell he's not that healthy. He doesn't take care of himself. He's just a workaholic, doesn't take care of himself like he should. He eats a fast food diet, which is, not nutritious. And so it'll be interesting. But he's a big, strong guy. People don't know. Trump's like 6'3", 6'2" or 6'3". He's tall. I was in the same room with him, and back when the old fight, this was in 2010. I can't remember. It was there was a mixed martial arts sports promotion called Affliction. You remember the Affliction t-shirts? So Affliction, Tom Inacio, who was the president of Affliction, they started an MMA promotion. And they only had 1 or 2 events. I think it was one event. They had one event here in California at the Honda Center. And Trump was actually looking to be an investor in Affliction. So they had brought Trump in to show him the venue and show him. And he sat cage side at the fights with him and Melania, and right beside Tito Ortiz, and my friend Tito, when he was dating Jenna Jameson. So they all sat right down in the front row. But Tito's a big guy. People don't realize how big Tito is. Tito's like 6'2". So it was funny to see him and Tito with each other because they're literally like the same size. People think Trump is a little guy. They think he's like, or not a little guy, but they think he's like my size. They think he's like 5'10", 5'11". He's not. He towers over me. Even if 6'2", towers over me. Random Nomad, did you hit me with it? Dude, you're amazing, bro. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Random Nomad, I'm like 6'2", 6'3". My dad's 6'4". I wish I was 6'2", 6'3". Good for you, buddy. Like 290 pounds. You're a big dude, too. You're bigger than Tito, dude. You're a big dude. 290 pounds, ex-offensive tackle. Did you play professional football? Because you're definitely big enough to play professional football. Yeah, the prom star. Yeah, the porn star, Jenna Jameson. I'll probably get this video is definitely going to get demonetized now. I've said Trump. I've said COVID-19. I've said porn. So thank you guys for donating to pay for this video because I've already screwed it all up. Wow, Random Nomad. They do grow them big in Minnesota. Texas is like that as well. All of my family, I'm the little guy. My younger brother's even bigger than I am. Trav, man, I seen on the news today they were talking about Trump and his wife got COVID-19. Nancy Pelosi and some other people that were on the plane with him have to be tested too. Yeah. I seen a statement by Nancy Pelosi saying something about she hopes Trump takes it seriously now. He never did not take it seriously. I mean, my whole take on, on Trump was he actually handled this, which is my whole thing with with people that are on the left, is he handled it exactly like I wanted him to handle it. I didn't want him to come out and say, oh my God, we're all going to die. Everybody's going to die. Because I'll be honest with you, when I was watching the videos coming out of China back in January and February, I had these horrific images in my head that we might see bodies piled up on sidewalks and we might see massive death. And that I had a feeling that I was scared to death that we would have 1 out of 10 of my friends would have lost someone to COVID. Okay, we're a year into this. It's not 3 months. It's not a month. It's not 2 months. It's not 3 months. We're almost 10, 11 months into this COVID business. I know two that were people in their 60s that have passed away. One is the father of a friend of mine on Facebook that I'm not really good friends with, but I do know him personally. I haven't seen him in 10 years, but he used to hold events that I used to go to. His father in New York City passed away from COVID, but I never knew his father, but his dad died of COVID. And then the other person was a first AD, a first assistant director here in Los Angeles, who I'd never worked with on a production, but he was very famous in the production world. But he was 63, I don't know, he was 64, 65 years old. Both of those guys were in their 60s, not the healthiest looking gentlemen, and they both died from COVID. But we are, like I said, a year into this, and there's nobody's piling up on the sidewalk. I don't know anybody that has died personally in my inner circle that's died. My dad is 81 years old. My stepmom is as unhealthy as any person on the face of the planet, just about. She's on an oxygen machine because she was a habitual smoker. She was a heavy cigarette smoker for years. She smoked probably a pack to 2 packs of cigarettes a day. So now she's on an oxygen. She has to have oxygen with an oxygen tank with her at all times. She has to have she's on a respirator thing, breathing machine at night to keep her so she doesn't stop breathing. She has trouble breathing when she's laying on her back. I was scared to death that when all this COVID business started, that she wouldn't make it, that she would get it and wouldn't make it. I will be the first one to tell you that, yeah, I was completely wrong. I'm right about 97% of everything. I got COVID completely wrong. Now, I did catch COVID myself, and I'm still suffering with it 7, 8, 9 months later. I'm still suffering the consequences of COVID. You have lingering conditions. A lot of people that catch it, that have it bad, have lingering conditions. It's like this little cult. We're like a little group of people that talk amongst each other. And we're the only ones that know what's going on. It's not in the mainstream media. I've only heard Fauci mention it once or twice because he's staying up to date with it. But Fauci won't say anything about people having long-term effects from COVID because he's gotten trashed so hard by people on the right for just talking about COVID. So he's terrified to even say anything. But the truth is there's a lot of people out there like myself that had COVID and are still suffering long-term consequences and long-term effects from COVID. So that's why it's not a joke. And Trump never made it out to be a joke. He never he never said, that it wasn't a serious thing. He's the one that stopped people from coming in from China back in February, remember? And when he did that, Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the Democrats literally lost their damn minds when he said that. They literally came right out as soon as he said it and said, no, you guys need to travel. This is just a scare tactic. We don't need to stop travel from China. Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. Nancy Pelosi was promoting the China festival, the Chinese New Year's festival that was going on at the time. She was telling people to come out and mingle and come out to the festival and everybody should come, that Trump doesn't know what he's talking about and he's just fear-mongering the COVID thing. And then within a month, they completely flip-flopped. They completely flip-flopped on the whole thing and was saying Trump wasn't taking it seriously. That's why I can't take Democrats seriously. Now, Republicans are almost just as bad. I'm not saying I'm a great big fan of, like neocons. That's why I claim an independent. But still, the thing that gets me all riled up the most from the left is their hypocrisy. Yeah, you're a big dude, Random Nomad. That's what Matilda had to say. Hey, Freedom Dove. Good to see you, Freedom Dove. Random Nomad says, even though Biden's ads claim that he was saying something to create fear, Trump was. Freedom Dove says, hi, Amy. Yes, indeed. I got my rig. I posted a show and tell video on my channel. Yeah, everybody go check out Freedom Dove's YouTube channel and check out her rig. I got to go watch that too, Freedom Dove. Random Nomad goes, I know 2 people that have had it and recovered. Well, I guess in another, I know 3. Yeah, that's probably about the average, Random Nomad. I would say that's probably about the average. I think everybody probably knows 2 or 3 people, that might be distant friends or friends of a friend or somebody that's got it. I mean, people get it. It does, it is going around. It's like the flu in that aspect. Excuse me. Travman says, I think Nancy Pelosi hasn't been taking it seriously because she hasn't passed any more stimulus and keeps stopping a second stimulus. In other countries like Canada have been getting $2,000 a month. Yeah, but the Democrats did pass that the next stimulus, so it should be coming, right, Trav Man? We talked about that the last show, or not the last show, the show before. What's it called? I can't even think of the name of it now. The something act. The freedom, I can't remember, but they passed it, and it was supposed to be 2.4 trillion and they cut it back to 2.2 trillion. So hopefully you'll be getting that second stimulus check any day now, Trav Man. I never got the first one. I don't know why I was not eligible when I went to the website and put in my information to claim or put in for your claim to get that first stimulus check. It basically just gave me this response saying you're not eligible for the $1,200 payment is all it would tell me. Matilda I was out of the States for 5 weeks not watching the news and returned home to California March 5th. The whole world changed while I was gone. I made it home just in time. Others had trouble getting back home. Yep. I'm way behind on the chat. Sorry, guys. I got on my soapbox. Freedom Dove says, China overplayed this to throw the rest of the world into chaos. Their propaganda has put everyone into a panic. Yeah, that's, that's, with the videos that was coming out of China, that's definitely a possibility. Because my whole thing that I look back on the videos that I saw coming out of China back in January and February, my question is, how did they just contain it in China to Wuhan? If you don't know, only Wuhan really got infected. It was the only major city in China that really had to go on, full lockdown because the city was infected. China's vast. So how did it not, like the United States, it's in every state, you know what I mean? So I don't understand how they kept it just in Wuhan. I know they locked everything down and locked people, they were welding people's doors shut and stuff, but it's an interesting question. Freedom Dove says you need to catch this stuff early, get on medicine quickly. Yeah, I think vitamin C and the C-Pack and I think the natural remedies for COVID is probably the best thing you can do for it. They told me to take Tylenol, but I didn't even do that. I took fish oil and holy crap, somebody hit me with a $30 Summer Travels. You are amazing. Thank you so much, Summer. Sumner, I always say Summer. It's Sumner Travels. Thank you so much, Sumner. Thank you for the $30 super chat. I have got to get these notifications working, guys. There's supposed to be it shows it on my screen on the, did anybody see like a little thing come up? It's supposed to say when somebody gives me a super chat, it's supposed to do like an alert, but I'm not seeing it. But it shows it come up on my, if I look at my stream elements, it shows the alert work. But then I didn't see it come up on my screen. Thank you so much, Sumner Travels, for the $30 super chat. Thank you. I'm going to get, as soon as this podcast is over, I'm going to get back on working on these alerts. Because I would like you guys, when somebody donates or anything for the show, I would like you to be able to see that on the screen. I know you see it in the chat. I understand that. But if you don't understand what I'm saying is I have this program. It's called an overlay with stream elements. So you see the thing at the thing at the top right, and then the top right, there's an auto alert that's supposed to go completely across the screen, and it's supposed to show your name and the amount that you donated. So if you remember when I first started the show, I would put like a little icon down, with a little money symbol, and then I'd put a ticker going across. But since I've changed cameras, I can't use that anymore because that's on the B camera for that particular program. So I went in and did this called an overlay that's supposed to do all of this stuff automatically, so I wouldn't have to do it. And on one of my screens, that's my where you work on this stuff, it shows it work, but then it doesn't. I don't see it. I've never seen it come up on my YouTube screen. Freedom Dove says, "Good, I could use the money." Let's see. Freedom Dove says, "We have tons of natural medicines to combat just about any virus." Very true, Freedom Dove. Hi, Tribe Man. I doubt I'll ever do a live stream. I don't say that, or never say never, Freedom Dove. I said the same thing. It took the only reason I'm doing this live stream. I don't know if you guys. I think everybody in this room knows who Paul Barger is, the bread trucker. Does everybody know who Paul is, the bread trucker? If you don't know who Paul Barger is, he has a very popular YouTube channel called The Bread Trucker, and he lives full-time in a old converted step van. He's the only reason I'm driving a step van is because I saw his and said I had to have one. And that guy spent a year convincing me that I needed to do live streams when all I was doing was making YouTube videos. And he convinced me that live streams was where it was at. And, interacting with the people, really interacting with the people that, that follow your channel. And I finally, over a year, it took over a year before I finally did a live stream. And I got to doing it because I did a couple of his live streams. And lo and behold, I did a live stream and fell in love with it. It's hard for me to even do videos now because I just enjoy doing the live streams. Yeah, I really enjoy Epic Times. That's one of my favorite medias. That and PragerU. It's hard if you lean right to find real good sources of media. There's like The Blaze, which is, what was his name? He was on Fox. I don't really care for him that much. He was the Fox commentator that was, I can't remember his name. It starts with a G, I think. He's got The Blaze that he owns. And, there's several, and then you got Breitbart, which they consider, everybody on the left considers Breitbart a white supremacist magazine or website when you have Ben Shapiro that used to be on Breitbart, and Ben Shapiro's a Jewish guy. But Breitbart is, it's white supremacist. Oh, yeah. Matilda goes, you used to have little graphics that were cute. Yeah, I did, Matilda, but we changed cameras, so that's why I had to try to do something else, and it just doesn't work. Yeah, Glenn Beck, thank you, Random Nomad. You're the man, Random Nomad. You always, Ben Shapiro, what did I say? Blaze TV, yeah. I need like a, in the entertainment industry, we wear a wire. It's a little mic that goes to our radio, and I need one of those in my ear when the show, so you can feed me what I like Biden during the debates. I need you, Random Nomad, to feed me during the show what I'm forgetting, because I forget every other thing I'm trying to talk about. Amy Preston says, Rav, your video and audio are not in sync on my end. Really? That's weird. How about anybody else? Does anybody else have a delay with the video? It delays for me here, so it's weird to watch it on this, because what I'm doing is not what I see. It's good for you, Matilda. Okay, good to hear. It's in sync there, Freedom Dove. Okay, good to know. Audio was late. Huh, that's weird, Amy Preston. I don't know what would cause that. Oh, so you're having the same problem, Random Nomad? You're having the audio delay? Yeah, try to refresh, Amy, and Random Nomad, try to refresh your browser. Random Nomad says, I thought I was just seeing things. Travman says, Freedom Dove, I've been binge watching your channel lately. I really like the one where you're washing your hair. I have long hair too, and was wondering how I would manage that on the road. Oh, you have long hair, Travman? I have long hair. All of my hair is falling out, though, because it's a result of COVID. But I'm going to tell you, Travman, if I had to do it over again, I would. I'm getting to the point. I still have a ponytail. You guys can't see it, but I'm ready to shave my hair. I can. It's a pain in the butt on the road. It's something I've never heard anybody talk about that, but it's a pain in the butt on the road, having long hair. I don't know. In a house, it just doesn't. When you're in a house with long hair, it just doesn't really affect you. But when you're living in a vehicle, it does affect you. Anyway, yeah, my heart and prayers go out to Trump and the First Lady. I know there's unfortunately a bunch of people out there that are praying for the worst, which is sad to say, but it's true. I mean, if we really wanted to, you could really blame, you can't blame, it's not the right thing to say, but there was a time, if you watch Bill Maher, who I actually used to watch Bill Maher, and if you watch Bill, I used to watch him a lot, but I don't anymore much, but if you watch Bill Maher, there was a show where he said, this was probably a year ago, this was probably 2019, and he actually made the statement that he was hoping that the economy would crash because he thought that was the only thing that was keeping people being a loyal supporter of Donald Trump. So he thought if the economy crashed, then everybody would abandon Trump. And so it feels like to me the Democrats prayed so hard for the economy to crash and for everything to crash is where we got COVID, because the economy was doing better than it had done in years and years and years. Now, I think a lot of it was overhyped, because I know for myself, I wasn't back to the level I had been once upon a time, but I could see the potential of the economy coming back to where I possibly could get back to 75 to maybe 100% of what I had been at one time financially. But the whole COVID thing kind of wiped that right out. Freedom Devs, I use clippers on my son's hair. It's very easy to maintain. They'll be fine. Thank you, God, for that. What would happen if both passed away from the virus? What would happen? Oh, that's a good question, Random Nomad. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Trav, man, every time I'm in a vehicle going for a ride, my hair flowing all over the place and getting in my mouth and everything else. Yeah, I hear you. I used to ride a Harley. The funny thing is I've been riding Harley since I was 19. And before I had a Harley, even before I was 19, I would see guys back in the day with long hair down to the middle of their back out riding their bikes in Texas because there was no helmet law. And these guys with long hair, and they're riding their Harleys and their hair's flowing behind them. And I'm like, oh, that's freaking cool, man. That'll be me someday. And I remember the first time that I got my Harley, I had really long hair that was down past my shoulders. And the first time I took my Harley out with my hair not in a ponytail or not braided or anything, and I came back home, and my wife had to sit there for like 25 minutes with a brush and brush the tangles out of my hair because my hair was so tangled that I couldn't even get my fingers through it. I mean, it was such a rat's nest. So I never rode after that without my hair I would put like 2 or 3 of those ponytail holder things to make sure that there was no loose hair. Because riding a motorcycle with long hair, I don't know. I see girls do it all the time, but for my hair, I don't know, maybe just because it's my hair, it was a mess. Freedom Dove, I don't like Obama, but I never wished him dead, unlike some people with exactly. Same here. That's the difference between conservatives and leftists, though. That's a hypocritical thing because they're supposed to be the compassionate ones, right? We're the deplorables, but we don't wish death on Obama. I don't like the guy. I really don't like the guy. If I ever got in a room with him, I would have some very choice words to say to him. But, the truth is with Obama, I actually had, I voted for Obama the first time, his first term. I actually had, I had great hope for Obama. I was hoping that he would be everything that he said he would. But I think for a lot of people that don't know this, I'll give you a little tidbit of information about Obama that a lot of people don't know. If you watched Obama during the first of the campaign, now remember, all of us, I think in the room, I think we all remember that, a year before Obama got into the race to run for president, a year and a half before he got into the race, nobody knew who he was. Nobody had even heard his name. I didn't know anybody. I don't know anybody that knew who Obama was before he got into the race. And then I remember hearing something on the news about this guy from Chicago that was going to be a great hope for the Democrat as president for the Democrats, some black guy. And I was like, well, that's weird. And I remember looking at the article and going, nobody even knows who this guy is. Why are they so sure he would win to be president? Doesn't even make sense. And I'm not kidding. Within 8 months, the guy was running for president, and he was the great black hope for the country and for all the black people, that he was going to be president, and he was going to make a bunch of great changes, and things were going to, he was going to do a lot of good for the country. And I never 100% bought into that, but I hoped it was right. I hoped it would happen. And if you watch Obama during his campaign, his first campaign, he had some very good messages. I mean, he had some very good things that he was saying. But this is something that people don't know. And you can look this up because this really did happen. And if we're going to go down the conspiracy road, let's go down the conspiracy road. Because I'm going to talk about whatever I want to, because the donations from everybody that I've got during the show today have paid me, so I don't have to worry about this video being demonetized. This video is paid for. So you guys paid for this, so I can say whatever I want to say. I'm not even worried about the video being demonetized now. So I'm going to talk about Obama his first during his campaign. So go back on YouTube and look at some of his campaigns, his first campaigns, because he was putting this message out and it sounded really good to everybody. Now, any politician is going to tell you what you want to hear. We're all smart enough to know that, correct? Of course we are. We're not dummies. So anybody that's running for office, any politician, they're going to peddle to you what you want to hear. They're going to pander to you. It's what being a politician is. But Obama had this little sliver of, it sounded like truth of what he was saying. And I heard it too. So I knew what everybody else was buying into. Now, I'm one of those people that's always leery. When somebody's telling me what I know, I pick up on that stuff like that. So I'm one of those skeptics. Like if somebody's peddling me something, like it's very hard for a con man used car salesman to sell me on something, because I automatically am skeptical of him. Does that make sense? So I was that way with Obama when he was running, but I hoped what he was saying was the truth. And he had these very powerful and these very good campaigns when he was doing his campaign rallies. I would say they're just as good as Trump's. Trump's just got a more loyal, or just a more radical loyal fan base, but Obama had a overall general fan base, if that makes sense. I mean, Obama had people from the right and the left that were at his rallies. It was just hardcore Republicans and neocons that hated Obama. I lean independent, so I didn't hate the guy to begin with because I didn't know enough about him. I didn't really know who he was. So I was watching these campaigns and going, I don't know, man, I hope what he's saying is true. And then I can't tell you the date, but this happened right at the end of his campaign, his touring. He was on a plane. He was on his jet that was taking him around, and he had a media pull or press pull with him that was taking him around to the, to his campaign destinations, right? He had like a big jet that's carrying him around, and he had a press pull on this jet. This is a true story. So it was like maybe his last one, or I think maybe he had one or two more stops, one or two more campaign appearances before his campaign ended. So it was at the very tail end of his campaign. So he had already went through all his rallies. He only had this was either the last one. I think there might have been a couple more. It's been a long time ago. You can look it up. This is history. And he had his press pull on his jet, and Hillary Clinton, we all know who Hillary Clinton is, right? Hillary Clinton shows up at, she's at Obama's campaign rally, right? Hillary herself, she's at Obama's, she's at his rally, and she goes with him and gets on the plane after his rally. And you can find this. There used to be video of it. You could find the video of it because he had a press pull on his plane, correct? So what people don't know, though, they don't know this story. I don't think most people know this story. So what happened was Hillary Clinton gets on this on the plane with Obama, and then Obama looks, if you watch that press coverage, Obama looks a little bit thrown off. Like his facial expressions, it's like, I don't know, it's like, when you're a teenager and your mom was gloating to you, to people, it just made you uncomfortable and you just didn't, you just wish you'd shut the fuck up. That's kind of the way Obama looked when he was with Hillary. He's just like, you could just see that his facial expressions had changed from when he had just been on the stage. Hillary Clinton takes Obama off of the plane, puts him in a limo. She takes him off the plane. And I don't think Obama knew this was going to happen, but she gets him off of the plane, puts him in a limo. They leave his press pool, which is not supposed to be left. They're not supposed to be separated from the candidate during a media event. They locked the press pool, the Democratic press pool, his followers, his loyal press pool that loves some Obama. They locked the press pool in his plane. They left his press pool in the plane, and Hillary Clinton took Obama from his aircraft at the airport to the Bilderberg meeting. If you don't know what the Bilderberg meeting is, Look it up. When you're talking about the deep state and you're talking about all of these things that everybody thinks is a conspiracy theory, there was a Bilderberg meeting going on, and Hillary Clinton, this is fact, you can find this, you could still look this up on the internet, Google it. Hillary Clinton took, and it was a big deal. I mean, the media were pissed. The people, the journalists that got locked on the plane, they locked these journalists on the plane where they could not get off. And Obama left. They were supposed to be going with Obama wherever Obama goes. They didn't let that happen. They locked the press pool on the plane and then grabbed Obama and took him to the Bilderberg meeting, which is a huge conspiracy meeting of all the heads of powers that be in the world that come together. And it's this secret meeting that happens out in the open, but they won't let anybody in and they won't let anybody know what's being said in these meetings. So Hillary Clinton takes Obama to the Bilderberg meeting, rushes him off to the Bilderberg meeting, and then after that happened, Obama never had he never had that same fire in him again. His whole demeanor to me this is what I picked up. But I noticed that right away, because when that happened, I was really like, what? Because I was all into the CFR, the Council on Foreign Relations, the CFR, the Bilderberg meeting. All of this stuff was being talked about in conspiracy circles back when, I was a conspiracist and none of you guys were. So when this happened, I poked up like, what? Hillary Clinton took him to a Bilderberg meeting and they locked the press pool on the plane? That is insane. That should have been all, and the media reported on this. It's not like the media kept it quiet. The media reported on it because the media was pissed. CNN had headlines like, press pool gets locked on plane, Hillary Clinton rushes Obama to Bilderberg meeting. It was out there. But the problem is nobody knew what the hell the big Bilderberg meeting was at that time. The only people that knew what the Bilderberg meeting was is people that were keeping up with the NWO and the deep state. Because that's what the deep state is. Everybody, all of us that were conspiracy theorists back then, that's what we considered the deep state, was the CFR, Council for Relations, Skull and Bones, and Bilderberg. That's was the circle. After that meeting, Obama was never the same. He never had the same fire in his eyes. He never had the same speeches. He was like a star football player that, they just said they were going to bench him for no reason. He just didn't have the same attitude. He didn't have the same sparkle in his eyes. He didn't have the same attitude. And my take on that is I think Hillary Clinton took Barack Obama to this Bilderberg meeting. I think and Obama's this young, he's not young, but for a president at the time, he's this young guy who's full of hope and is out there peddling this message that he believes he's going to deliver. I think he 100% believed he was going to deliver everything he was saying, or he was going to die, or he was really going to try. He just had that appeal about him. And I think he went into this Bilderberg meeting, and the powers that be in the world that really control everything that's going on said, sit down, son. Let me tell you how it's done. This is what you're going to do. And this is what you're going to do. And this is what you're not going to do. And you really don't have the power to do a whole lot of anything because we actually control everything. So you're just kind of a poster child for everybody to keep everybody appeased. But unless we let you do it, you don't really have the authority to actually do anything. And that's just my own speculation of what happened. I just know once Obama came out of that Bilderberg meeting, he was never like he was before when he was first campaigning. His next campaigns and his next speeches just did not have that same excitement and enthusiasm. And I think that's why you see the media. I think that's why you see everything so rabid against Trump, is because I think the same powers that be have had that same conversation with Trump. These Bilderberg NWO fanboys, and I think Trump told them to themselves. That's what I think. I think Trump said, that's nah. And then they're probably like, well, what happened to JFK, right? Wink, wink. Remember JFK? Have you ever listened to JFK's NWO, his New World Order speech? There is a very enlightening video. JFK's words. It's not like it's something made up or it's a conspiracy, where JFK is talking about the New World Order and these secret governments and these secret cabals that are running everything. And so I think this same cabal, I think they came out and, told Trump, hey, we run things. And Trump said, no, I run things. The American people voted me in, and we're going to run things. The Paris Accord, nah, that's kind of a globalist thing. We're not going to be a part of that anymore. So I think the NWO, I think the people that are, that are in cahoots, which are from the left and the right, that are in this whole, and George Bush talked about the NWO, Henry Kissinger, big advocate, big fan of the NWO. You can look back at videos and find them talking about if you don't know what the NWO stands for, it's the New World Order. President Bush Sr. gave a very famous speech where he goes, in this time, we are in the cusp of being able to deliver a new world order. It's true. I mean, you can pull it up on YouTube. It's not a conspiracy. These guys talk about it. And there was a video of Henry Kissinger at the New York Stock Exchange, and somebody was asking him after he was no longer in politics. What was he? The Secretary of State, if I remember right. Once he was no longer in that position, somebody asked him, like, what do you see for America? What do you see for the world? And Henry Kissinger's statement on public television, back in the day, he goes, well, right now, what I see is the perfect opportunity for those of us that are in charge of everything and making things happen to actually implement what we've been working on for all of these years, and to actually implement it and take the next steps to create a one world government in the New World Order. So it's not conspiracy, because these guys have always been talking about it in the open. But people call it a conspiracy because, I don't know, somebody tell me. But anyway, we are 58 minutes into this podcast. It's going to last for an hour, so we only got a couple of minutes left. My heart goes out to President Trump and Melania. I hope that he actually doesn't get sick. I'd love it if he's asymptomatic and doesn't actually get sick from it. It's going to be funny, though. Not funny, probably not the right word to say. It's going to be interesting, though, if he stays asymptomatic and really doesn't get sick from this. I worry that he will because of his age and his diet. But if he doesn't get sick at all, that's going to be Democrats' worst nightmare. So if there's any of you leftists watching this or watch this, it's going to be your worst nightmare, because if Trump comes through this with flying colors, buddy, he's going to come out swinging, going, this virus is bullshit. You know what I mean? Why don't we got everything locked down? I had it. Not that big a deal. Let's get things going again. And that's what Democrats don't want. But I do feel 100% that Democrats have pandered this and they've played this up because they feel like as long as the economy is in shambles and as long as they can keep the economy closed, the longer they keep the economy closed, the closer to the election. They wanted to keep everything closed. Don't let the economy come back, because if the numbers start going back and it's going back up, then they're terrified. So they wanted to keep everything repressed, so they have the best chance of getting Trump out of office, because they think everybody's going to turn against him because of the economy being in the dump, which the economy's in the dump because everything's closed because of COVID. Now, that doesn't mean COVID's not real. COVID is real. A lot of people's got it. A lot of people get it. I'm one of them. Man, you guys, I want to thank you guys. Random Nomad, Trav Man, guy, who else do we have? Sumner Travels, everybody that donated to the show today. You guys gave me the freedom with this show today just to say whatever I wanted to say and talk about whatever I wanted to talk about. I didn't have to worry about trying to censor myself, which I've been doing these last few episodes. We just hit an hour, so I'm going to wrap it up with this. I've been, yeah, I know, Matilda, he's already feeling sick and has a cough. I read that as well. And I think they're moving him to Walter Reed or something. But I wanted to say, so I had been looking at, I was going to talk about this in the last episode and I didn't do it. I've been looking at other things because even the topics I talk about, like I basically pick one topic of what's the main thing that people are talking about in the media. And because of YouTube suppressing what I'm talking about, I just don't get I don't get a lot of traction off of that. As far as views. I mean, my videos are doing 70 to 80 views maybe, and that's all you loyal fans or you loyal listeners that are in the room now, that I love you guys. But as far as it getting out there and being pushed by YouTube, it's just not happening. So I was looking at strategically, because when I did the 411 video about the missing 411, that video got It's pushing it was 888 views the other day. That's more than my last 20 videos together. It got 888 views, and then the one, or no, maybe it might have been the NASCAR one. My Mike Wallace video with the NASCAR. One of them was over 1,000 views, and one of them was 8,800 views. So it kind of lets me know that if I pick an off topic, like the 411, which is nothing nobody was talking about, it's just something I was interested in, and but it's an interesting topic for a lot of other people. So that video really did well. So I may the missing 411 random nomad. It's got a lot of views compared to my other videos of my other podcasts. Now it didn't do really well. It's got a lot of dislikes for the simple fact is people don't know who I am. A lot of them, people don't know who I am. So when they click on that, they expect it just to be another episode of 411, which it's not. So I've got to look at, figuring that out. Let's go. I can look right here. I'm on the computer. So my Mike Wallace was the one that had 888 videos. And that's just because Mike Wallace is so popular in NASCAR. And that's such a big controversy with NASCAR. So it got 892 views. And the missing 411 has 2.6 thousand views. So just so you guys know, that 2.6 thousand views, that's what I'm going for. I mean, that's more, that's 20 to 40 bucks. But Trav, man, you are something else. You hit me with another super chat. You guys stop donating. The show's over. I do appreciate it though. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. And we will hopefully see all of you guys, all you loyal listeners, back here Monday at 7 p.m. if the good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise. Yep. Thank you, Random Nomad. Peace, positive vibrations, later days. Matilda, Amy Preston, Random Nomad, Travman, Sumner's Travels, Freedom Dove, all of you guys. Hopefully I'm not leaving anybody out. Detox D. God, who else? Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a beautiful, safe weekend, and we will see you hopefully Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great weekend, guys.
Thank you for listening to the American Nomad Podcast. Until next time, keep looking up because that's where it all is.
you.